Good morning, guys. Good morning. I am so excited to share with you guys this morning and to talk a little bit about mindset and then a how to, which we're talking about here, how to tell your story via phone calls, because I think this is where a lot of people freak out. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to call people up and I have to. And then when I explain to them how to do it, they're like, oh, that was easy. I could totally do that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, how to share your signature story on a phone call. Guys, you should be able to share your signature story in 3 different ways. The first way is your opt-in video, which you'll be filming. The second way is phone calls, which we're going to be talking about today. And the third way is your content calendar. And we talked about that yesterday, and different posts and different emails as you update people. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Someone reminded me yesterday that I did not show the ring. So here you guys go. I got engaged over the weekend. It was such a surprise. I did not see it coming. I had no idea. He threw me off good. So he did good. So more updates on that. Um, it's actually been spurring some ideas for a crowdfund, because the next album that I'm going to be putting out is my journey of love. And so stay tuned for that. If you're here with me, say good morning. I'd love to say hi to you as well. DJ Bello, Haruka, and let's see, I think we got some people on Facebook and YouTube. So definitely give me a shout out, say hi so I can say hi back. But yes, got engaged over the weekend. Oh, thank you. Okay, see, I've got to move my phone over because I'm coming out in my phone today. Facebook user, I'm not sure what who you are because it doesn't show up on mine, but I can check later, or you can comment in the chat. So guys, today we're going to be talking about how to make your phone calls during your crowdfund, being able to share your signature story in a way that is fun, relatable, that you're not cringing, that you're not scared. And I am going to be sharing about mindset first. So yesterday we talked about resistance, and a way that resistance shows up for us can be procrastination. Anyone relate with that? And perfectionism. So I want to read this quote. The most pernicious aspect of procrastination is that it can become a habit. We don't just put off our lives today, we put them off till our deathbed. Never forget this very moment. We can change our lives. There never was a moment, and never will be, when we are without the power to alter our destiny. This second, we can turn the tables on resistance. This second, we can sit down and do our work. And action is really the only way that I personally have conquered perfectionism. Honestly, there's no other way that I've done it. Is action, taking action, even though I feel insecure, even though I feel scared, even though I feel like, I'm struggling, doing something in the midst of that. And it says here, the rule of thumb: the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we feel towards pursuing it. So if you're in that place, that's comforting. I talked about this quote yesterday, and I want to add to it, because right after that quote, we talk about this quote, and they could be contradictory or they could be together. To labor in the arts for any reason other than love is prostitution. So let's talk about the flip side here, because we're like, especially us workers, we're like, yeah, I got the work. I could do the work. Yeah, like force myself all the time to do the work. And then you got this quote that says, to labor in the arts for any reason other than love is prostitution. And let's talk about this for a second. Um, we can do the work and show up, and we can also labor in love. Can both exist at the same time? Absolutely. If you think about any relationship, I mean, talk about relationship. I'm just gonna keep sparkling that in the camera because it's fun. Yeah, it's a relationship. So relationship with your craft is no different than a relationship with someone that you love. At times it's work, and at times it's love. And the problem I see with people who are procrastinating or um, being in perfectionism, me too, is that it's just about the work. And have you ever seen someone in a relationship like that, in a marriage like that? It's just work and they've lost the love. So both are very important. And that's why I always say connection plus current or plus urgency equals currency. Connection plus urgency equals currency. So you've got to have connection first, and that's what we're going to be talking about today with our phone calls. Is we're going to be talking about connection, how to start with connection and love in your phone calls, because then they don't feel icky, slimy, weird. They feel fun, they feel like exciting, and they are excited too, and it's all about the vision of what you're creating. So let's talk about this today. So I always started with a Facebook voice message when I contacted people. This is what worked for me. And you know your people, right? So there's always flexibility in this. I suggest a personal voice message to people. That way they know that you want to connect on the phone with them through your voice. Some people you can send text. I'll talk about that later, but this is I'm talking about the phone call people. Phone calls are great for people you haven't talked to in a long time, right? It's kind of weird to just send them a message, a DM on Facebook, and be like, "Hey, donate to my crowdfund." It's much more personal if you send them a personalized voice message first, and then ask if they're open to a phone call. So this is what I did. I sent personalized voice message to John. I was talking about John, and I say, "Hey, John, a long time no see. What part of the world are you in? Hey, I'm working on a project right now, and I thought of you. I know you're a really positive person, and just thought of you. Let me know if you're open to a quick phone call, like 10 minutes." And then he would get back to me, and he said, "Hey, yeah, totally open to that. I'm free at this time." And I said, "So cool. Here's my number, blah blah blah." And then I called him up and I said, "Hey, John, long time no see. Where in the world are you at?" We caught up. I think it was somewhere in Africa and, a lot of different places. And I said, "Hey, John, I know it's been a while, but really the reason I'm calling is because I have been in this place of procrastination and perfectionism." That quote we talked about earlier today, that was my story. So if you're there, I understand, been there. And I have been in this place of perfectionism. I've been writing music for about 10 years, and it's been in my room on my voice memos. And really, I just haven't believed in myself. I haven't really uh, taken the time to work on myself, and recently I have, and I have decided I've had enough of hiding. I've had enough of procrastination. I've enough of perfectionism, and I'm done with it. I'm done, and I am ready to put out this album, and it's about me being enough and knowing my voice counts. And I think this album is really going to inspire other people to step out of their perfectionism and hiding. I think this album is going to really inspire people to create um, beautiful things in their life. I really believe that this album is going to impact people, and people have already called me listening to the demos crying, and it's just been a really cool experience knowing that this project that I'm working on is inspiring people. So I totally no pressure, John. I know it's totally out of the blue, but I just want to see if you'd be open to supporting me in any way. And he's like, "Yeah, sure." He was excited. He was like, "This is so cool. Congrats on it." And um at the time it was my birthday, so I was like, "I'm turning 30, da da da." And so he said, "Yeah, how can I support?" So I said, like I said, totally no pressure, but there's three ways you can support. The first way is to donate, and I'm giving rewards out for donations. The second way is you can jump into my free auction Facebook group and invite some friends to it. And I'm auctioning off items in that group, so it's totally free to join. You can just see if you like something. And at the time, it was October, November, and I was like, maybe you'll like something for Christmas for a friend. Um, People are doing their Christmas shopping on there. And then I said, and last thing is you can just pray for me. You can support me. You can like my posts. You can share my posts. You can join my email list. Like whatever you feel comfortable with. Um, I'd love for you to be on this adventure with me. And I call it an adventure on purpose because it really truly was an adventure. If you do a campaign or a crowd, it's an adventure, right? It's like, wow, um, come on this adventure with me, you guys. You're throwing a party when you give them a phone call. Like, you're throwing a party, and people want to come to the party or they don't, you know? And so he was like, yeah, for sure. Like, let me see what I check my finances and see what I can do. Otherwise, I just love to support you. And I hadn't talked to John in years and years and years. So that's one of my favorite ways to approach the phone call. I suggest that maybe you practice on some people who are closer to you. Maybe you call up your mom and you practice with her, or maybe you call up your best friend. Really, the way I think people get choked up because they forget, like, the person in front of them is a person. They think that the person in front of them is a donation ticket. It's like, no, we are people. We are people, and we get to come on adventures together, and we get to build relationship, and we get to build connection, and that's what the phone call is for. It's a way to prioritize and build connection with the people in our lives. Hey, Michael. Hey, Aaron. Okay, TJ, the champ, James. Okay, good to see you guys. So guys, that's how simple the phone call is. It's relationship. It's building that connection with people and loving on people. And so, yes, those two quotes can live together. Number one, to labor in the arts for any other reason than love is prostitution. Guys, you've got to go into this campaign with love. With love. And otherwise it feels icky. You feel perfectionistic. It feels like you're gonna avoid the work. This is love, guys, and legitimately genuine excitement to bring people into this process. And then, yes, you've got to show up and do the work at the same time. And guys, when we just show up and we don't have expectations for ourselves, in the fact of perfectionism, that is, if we don't have expectations of perfectionism, we can mess up and we can have like a weird phone call, and it's okay, right? It's okay. And I want to talk about um, uh, this quote as well real quick, because I think this is part of what you might face on a phone call is rejection. You might face some criticism. You might face someone who doesn't get your vision, and that's okay. They don't need to. Not everybody needs to get it. You're just looking for the people who do, and those are the people you want around in your life anyway. So let's talk about criticism real quick. The professional learns to recognize envy-driven criticism and to take it what it is, the supreme compliment. The critic hates most that which he would have done himself if he had the guts. So recognize criticism and rejection for what it is. Some people, they just may be like, yeah, I don't really get your story, and it's just not my thing, and they have no criticism or anything. Some people are going to have criticism for you, and that is a supreme compliment. The critic hates most that which he would have done himself if he had the guts. So, if you face criticism, if you face rejection, if you face someone who doesn't get your vision, you are on the right track. You were on the right track. I think maybe I called 100 to 200 people, and I think two people didn't get it. Maybe one, two, three, something like that. I mean, that's not that many compared to the people who were really genuinely excited. So, guys, this is how it is. Um, Comment any questions you have in the chat. If you're curious about how to crowdfund and how to put yourself in this process to create your 5K in 30 days or more, put crowd in the chat. We're getting excited here. Put crowd in the chat, and I can send you the info so that we can chat. Been working with a few different artists this past quarter. We're starting a new quarter, guys. So this quarter, April, May, June, what do you want to create? Do you want to create some cash? Do you want to create relationship with your audience? Do you want to create vision for yourself? Do you want to create messy action? Do you want to create joy and love in your art? Do you want to create passion? Do you want to create, and when we create these things, we embrace these things, we be these things, so to speak. You are passion, you are creativity, you are joy, you are love. And what is the foundation? If you're facing resistance, what is the foundation of that resistance? Is it trying to be perfect? Is it having expectations on yourself that are just unrealistic? Is it having lost the love in your heart, and just you're just buried in the work? Do you need to go dance around? Do you need to go change it up a little bit today? Do you need to take care of yourself? Self care. We all have different personalities, and we all have different tendencies. So we've got the people who work really hard but forget to take care of themselves. Guys, go give yourself a spa treatment. Go give yourself something that is free. Put your feet in the grass, right? Create space for yourself to win. Set yourself up to win this quarter. It is April, May, June. That is another quarter of the year. So, what are your goals? What do you want to create? And who do you want to be in that process? I think it starts with embracing love, embracing those creativity, joy, all the things that we want to be. And then you do the work and you show up for the work from there. Does that make sense, guys? If that makes sense, if that's resonating with you, say me, and then I can know that resonates, because I know when I've been in perfectionism and resistance and hiding, it was all because I forgot the love. I forgot the love that I had for my projects, for the people around me, and I it was all about me. It was all about me and being perfect. So, in so to speak, this is a way to get out of your own way. Be joy, be love. And if you struggle to step into those places, start changing it up a little bit. What do you get to create to change up who you are in the moments of your day? Because it always starts there, and the work will be always the work. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to or if you're curious about how to crowdfund your own signature story, or workshop your own signature story, how to crowdfund in this next season, put crowd in the chat and I can get you the info. Working with a few different artists right now. We're starting a group. It's a really exciting time to be a part of this community. So definitely put crowd in the chat and I can get you the info. Thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing, amazing day. And oh, Garrett, I see you. Good to see you. Sheldon, awesome to see you. Uh, okay, cool. How can anyone not get you? Thank you, thank you. Indiegogo, is that a question about the platform? I'm not sure. Okay, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat now. I'm going to start the music and put on I'm still figuring out how to do this, but got our little overlay here. Thanks so much for coming, guys. Bye.